Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Wrestling for Life Network. Welcome to another live stream. Welcome to NXT. It's going to be a good one tonight. We got lots to talk about, lots to get into, a number one contenders match, and so much more, folks. Get in that chat. Hit the buttons, blow it up. Let us know how you're feeling, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream as we bring you NXT tonight. Going to be a fun one here, folks. We got a lot to get into. We got lots to talk about, and we're going to have a good time as we always do here on the channel. Now, if you were expecting more faces than just this one, well, big shout out to Big Nick taking a much deserved and earned extra bonus night off to chill and relax and yeah, hopefully he's having a good night. Hopefully he's having a good time. And Mr. Anthony, big shout out to him as well. But folks, I got you for the next couple hours as we dive into all the fun stuff. I'll do my best to keep you up to date, keep you entertained as we roll through all the wrestling action tonight. Lots going on, lots announced for tonight. We will get into it. We will break it down. I see that chat filling up already. Make sure you tell your friends, share our link, click all the buttons, tap those reaction buttons. Let us know how you're feeling. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Again, we are the WFU, folks. We are the difference. We are the exception. We are unlike anyone else out there, and happy to be back at it again. If you don't know who I am, I'm Mr. Evernight, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. And again, let's get into some wrestling. What are we going to get tonight? What will it look like? Waller taking on Cruz Montana, a.k.a. or FKA. Mr. Mike Santana, how will this look? Who will go on? Will it be a stalemate? I kind of think we might end up with a triple threat, so maybe this is not a definitive answer tonight, but we will get the match. We'll see Waller back in NXT in action. We'll see Cruz back in NXT in action, so a little bit of intrigue and interest with that one, so we will see what this looks like. A mixed tag. Sean Spears teaming up with Izzy to take on, with Lizzie to take on Izzy. And I completely Nico. Then we're going to go into Lexis King. I mean, I'm not even going to talk much about that match. I don't know what, it is what it is. The Birthright's struggling. Rook against our old buddy, Mr. We've been calling him Mr. D'Lo Brown lately, but a spin on that. And then, of course, Sugar taking on Dion again. We'll see what that entails. Zarya taking on Ren for the North American Championship, and of course the main event. So lots to get into. We are about 10 minutes away from the start of the show. Make sure you hit all the buttons like I said. And again, I will get to the chat momentarily, but I will take a second to shout out the top three from last night: Spaz, Wesley, Paul. That's your chat points. The more you chat, the more points you get. Super chat, super stickers, and gems get you a bonus. So use them up, folks. Get in there. Hit us up with those super chats. Help the channel out. Get your name on the top of the list as we continue to cover more wrestling. Don't forget, back all week long as we get into Dynamite tomorrow. Some interesting things we may mention tonight, but we're definitely going to talk about it tomorrow. But some interesting things going on in Dynamite as they get closer and closer to All In. Thursday, we're back for Impact. We're looking forward to that. 8:45 a little bit later. SmackDown on Friday. What will that look like? Lots going on that show. So again, all your favorite wrestling folks, we appreciate it. Make sure you hit the buttons. And again, tell all your friends. Zach, the first one in as many nights, as he's saying, play in the sand day. I didn't get to play in the sand today. That's unfortunate. But play in the sand day. So if you were at the beach, good on you. But maybe we'll get some beach time in this weekend. Clay Lewis, welcome back. Good to see you. Damien, good to see you. Eric, good to see you as well. Welcome. The leader of the Hopium tribe. Looking forward to Cruz Montana and Grayson Waller. Should be good. Lots of intrigue, lots to talk about it, a lot of buzz. For those, whether people feel like Waller coming back to NXT was good or bad, it doesn't really matter. He's here now. Now, how will it play out? Will it work? Will it look good? Will we get a good match? I hope so. Santana can go. I believe Waller can go outside of his silly finisher. I like him. I like him a lot. I like this attitude. So I don't know that either guy is going to win or lose tonight. I do think there's a possibility Tony D come out and ruin this, and then it becomes a triple threat. Highly possible. Highly possible. Don't forget to hit all the buttons as now we approach about 8 minutes. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back, TJ. Welcome back. Let's go. I see there's still room on the Jericho Cruise this November. How about you a GoFundMe? So, dude, that's so tempting. But, I mean, I would be kind of nervous to get chucked overboard. I'd have to check who's going. I don't know. I mean, if anybody kind of just checked our clip section, they might not be too happy with me on the Jericho Cruise, but that would be jokes, Ken. Y'all start it, make it happen. We'll be here to go. Let's go, Reader. What is up? Tuesday night, yum yums. Let's do it. We're looking forward to it. Don't forget, check out the Facebook as Reader killing it over there. The channel's growing by the minute, and we love it. Damien, I'm waiting for NXT. I'm watching Dana White Contender Series. Not bad, not bad. Hey, yo, what's up, Paul? How you doing? Paul, I think I was more critical of Raw than you were yesterday. I don't know what happened. We got to flip the script. What's up, Guardian? Jose, Solo KJ. Let's go on a Tuesday. Let's go, Sean Reed. I swear I heard yum yums. You might have. Maybe you just... it's just ingrained. The minute you hear that music, you think yum yums. Solo and Sleeveless. The double S is on this wonderful Tuesday. And back at it tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that as well. Clear NXT is on. By the way, hello, Jose. I'm just reading your comments and not saying hi. How rude. Let's go, Mr. Roos. Chat NXT is on ESPN or ESPN app now. Is that like the Chat GBT version of wrestling? But, letting the chat know NXT is on ESPN or ESPN app now. So that's pretty cool. More access, bigger platform. So very interesting. Of course, internationally, we're watching it on Netflix, as it looks like we're just over 6.5 minutes away from the start of the show. Cherokee George, welcome back. Evening all. Just how much of a chance does Waller have against Montana? I say less than 30%. Also, is Penta still on the rise? I say yes, more than ever. Penta is very much over. Penta's very strong right now. I feel like it's a bit of a obvious layup that he is the front runner to take on Roman Reigns. Fans love him. Kids love him. The mask, the face paint, all of it. Going back to Lucha days and going back before that, like he's a crowd pleaser. He's a fan favorite. And, nobody really, let's say he is the guy to take on Roman Reigns. Nobody really believes he's going to beat him. But it's a good moment, a great moment. Imagine you get to fight for the WWE World Title. It was your dream to work in WWE, and now you're doing it in Mexico City. That's a huge moment for a guy. And some fans out there might try and naysay it, but that's a big deal. He's thrilled with his life choices right now. Again, with Montana and Waller, I'm leaning towards DQ, no contest, roll this into a triple threat. NXT, let's go. What's up, Ronan? Sean Reed, got you. Cherokee, got you. OG Dale's in the house. Spaz with $5. Let's go. Where's Nick, a.k.a. Husky6? Jokes. Jiggity Jam. My dude, I can't wait to cruise through NXT. This new kid, Montana's really got something. Sup, Chad? Let's go. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for 5 bones in the bucket. And, yeah, Nick's getting a little R&R and resting, as I said, much deserved. So, again, he will be back on Thursday with Anthony, and who knows how things work out. But big shout-out to the boys, and hopefully I can do them justice and hang in there with y'all. It was a tough one last night. Hoping NXT is more impactful. Funny. It's... Raw was not. I saw some people that were kind of like keen on it, or a couple of people said, well, it was better than last week. I didn't think that was the case. I was not happy with Raw. I thought the ending was so flat and so, who cares? We kind of all get behind Solo. And I know, and I defend it all the time, like good guys can lose and da-da-da. I think sometimes, like in the case of Solo, we're just starting to like him and you're beating him. Like, you kind of got to get him, like, keep this going before we start tapping nails. I'm curious where the story goes. He's getting delivered to Roman. As we joked last night, the Samoan delivery service goes a little slower, so he will be there next Monday, delivered to one Roman Reigns. Joe, not exotic, welcome back. What's up? Let's go. Raw was trash. Dale not feeling it. What's going NXT? But like Josh Briggs, Hank and Tank, Brooks and Jensen, the guys that were from a couple of years ago or that aren't being pushed. So, I mean, hard to answer them all, but I mean, Jensen kind of fell off. Jensen and Briggs might have been better together than apart. But the bar rescue shit they did was terrible. It was a failure. Yeah, so Hank and Tank are still kind of doing their thing. I think they should be on the main roster, though. I think they're marketable as shit. Do we get the debut of Tanahashi? I don't know. I mean, it's a very good question because it's been rumored for so long. It almost feels like, where we talked about Lance Anoa'i for so long and it never, he ends up getting released. Again, lots of rumors. You see what's happening on SmackDown where, we're getting the Tongans with the new vibe. Finn Balor's getting a spotlight. Shinsuke's getting vignettes and, kind of teasing that he has friends. So maybe Solo will cost Roman the title against LA Knight. God, I hope not. Interesting. That's the other part of this, right? And the loose friendship between LA and Solo and how that's all going to play out. Come back to some of the bigger questions. Jose, Paul, Adrian, welcome back. 2 minutes to go. For Monday Night Raw, it was the lack of superstar power. To be honest, I feel the star power, we don't have much at all. Star power is obvious. The guys that started 10, 15 years ago. I saw a podcaster out there, and I believe it was, good old Uncle Dave, but talking about how all of a sudden, like, SmackDown's got all the cool guys, right? And he was kind of echoing that sentiment where, Raw, I don't think lacks star power. I mean, Nick and I argued about Roman Reigns for quite a while last night. So you got Roman, you got Seth, but I mean, on a night where they're both off, I mean, Oba gets a huge pop, feels like a star, but he's in this spot now where he's not exactly doing much because, you're kind of building him up. So, yeah, I mean, it became, your main event, you're relying on guys. And I mean, Solo's been great. I don't think Jay's as bad as people say he is, but it was what it was. It didn't really move the needle or anything. So it's interesting. I mean, I feel like on the women's side, maybe a little more star power. You're relying a little more on like an EO and a Vancouver, which Vancouver is super over. But then you look on the other side, Charlotte, Alexa. Now you got Tatum, Jade. Rhea's technically over there. So, yeah, I mean, Monday's interesting right now. And we've watched this kind of go back and forth over the last few months, right? I very much thought the first 2-3 months of the year, SmackDown was the better show, and then it tapered right off. What's good, Boston? How you doing? Welcome back. Let's go. So I'm 40 seconds away. When I get the show, I will let you know where I am if you want to dial in with me. How does Kevin Knight win versus Jericho tomorrow before he goes one-on-one with Darby? I actually think Jericho might beat Knight because... Oh, no, the title's on the line. So let me rephrase. Maybe we don't get a conclusion to this match, or Jericho somehow gets distracted by somebody. I don't know. I don't know why this match is happening. I continue to beat this drum. A lot of people hate me for it. That's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. A lot of people don't like the fact that I believe Jericho, Moxley, these guys are hurting AEW. They are preventing AEW from evolving and going to the next level. They are like, those, shitty couple stages you got to beat to, level up, and you just can't get over them. Like, they won't go away. Jericho taking on Knight, I don't get it. Jericho beating Ricochet, I don't get it. Jericho beating Ciampa, I don't get it. And maybe that's the answer. Does Ciampa kind of fuck with Jericho, and then you run that back one more time at the All In? I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, it might be Jericho. Jericho gets the belt. Oh, my God. As now I got the start of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I got now on my screen. Welcome. If you're just tuning in, make sure you hit like, share, subscribe. Make sure you're part of all the shows, all the fun, as we are getting ready for NXT tonight. and all week long for all your favorite wrestling. Mox is the wildebeest stage of the Lion King. Are you waking for some bacon? Yup. The hell was that? But we are set, showing the crowd what kicks off the show tonight. I think it might actually be the mixed tag, but maybe I'm wrong. No AEW talking tonight, just force the NXT tonight. Talk about AEW on Wednesday nights, period. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, Dale. We'll do our best, but we'll see how it goes. But every night we talk about all the things. So as much as we'd like to save it, it's on the table, sir. What's up, KJ and Big Nick? As we go back to last week, Lola, Kendall, Underground. Kendall, now your established, solidified champion. Lola's rumored to be going to SmackDown. There was 0 star power last night. Fair enough. Again, it definitely notice, for all the criticisms of a Roman Reigns, you really do notice when he's not there. Thank you. What's up? Oh, shit, it's KJ. Let's go. Now, Tuesday's not very ranty, as Dale pointed out. We'll save some of the rantiness for tomorrow. But we'll see what NXT does and see if there's anything to rile me up here tonight. I truly feel like SmackDown could be better with the 3 hours. I feel like it fell off, even though it could be boring a lot. I like the 2 hour window better. I think 3 hours is too long for a weekly show, especially with the WWE, because they're running like their B pay-per-views are like 3 hours and change at best. So, the shows and the pay-per-views the PLEs feel very similar. Bothers me a little. But ultimately, yeah, I mean, maybe they just had more room to breathe, more room to let things breathe. I don't know. But 2 hours is a more comfortable pocket. I like Raw where it's at that flex, and I like Dynamite if they would just treat it like what it is, and it's a 2 hour and 15-minute show. None of this silliness of these unnecessary overruns. What is NXT going to start with? I'm intrigued. We're still in a video package. And don't forget, we will be here live for Heatwave on a day where we watched 3 pay-per-views in the same day. Not the first time, not the last time, a mega marathon. Lots going on the 30th of August. We also have Lockdown coming up. As right now we're running back the day, the debut of Cruz. Talking about Waller. How's this going to go? 2 new people advancing to the next round of the Continental Cup. Yeah. I so don't care. What's up, Lantern? How you doing? Kendall is about to go on a run with this title for sure. Undeniable. Oberon Breaker is going to be the next good feud on Raw. I like kind of how they're slow playing this. And it looks like we're getting the mixed tag to open the show, folks. Don't forget, we take predictions for every single match. We take a rating out of 10 for every single show. So let us know how you feel. We want to know how the fans feel. Out come the culling. I guess there's still the culling. We'll put a poll up for this one. Get your votes in. Who are you taking? Well, the culling or Lizzie Spears. Sounds like a Disney Channel show. Lizzie Spears. All right, get your votes in. Let me know who you're taking. Izzy's been on a pretty good roll, has done really well. Spears obviously being kicked out of the culling in a way. Jericho has yet to prove himself, and I bet he will. My God. He just needs to stop. It's got to stop. And, I mean, him fighting Kevin Knight is pointless. Kevin Knight's got to go half speed for Jericho to be able to keep up. It's a waste of time. Spazzer, 10 bones. Internet idiots. TK doesn't have to flood the show with unnecessary women because he's quality over quantity. What? Also, Tessa versus Baszler would rule if the company would book it. Maybe the Indies. You never know. As far as the first part, Spazzer, are you saying that the women aren't quality? Is that what you're admitting to in an attempt to defend Tony? Are you burying the women's roster by saying they're not quality? Right? The women are unnecessary. We'll make them necessary. I would argue that the talent like Willow and such, they should be on TV. Samuel, welcome back. EQ92. How come people always think that when a Raw or SmackDown show over, it's over? You might have to expand upon that, sir. Generally, because they're stuck to a schedule. By the way, we're off and running on this match. Izzy all over Lizzie to start off. 65% of the chat going Lizzie Spears. Lizzie Spears, Lizzie Spears. People are jealous of Avery Styles. A guy from GCW is jealous of Avery Styles because his son of AJ Styles. Did you hear that story? It's a very interesting story. And I mean, I saw AJ defend his son as he should, though I didn't quite agree with kind of his take on it. I mean, I feel like a merit system's important. I feel like you should pay your dues. I know there's been heated debate. Others out there said it's silly to pay your dues, da 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 da. But ultimately, I don't see what was wrong with the idea. As far as hating him, I mean, he is going to have a bit of that. You know, we've seen it. Charlotte Flair, Cody Rhodes. They, you know, you have to overcome that name in a way, and he's going to have to overcome that name as AJ Styles. He'll be scrutinized harder. He'll be critiqued harder. It's just the nature of the business and the nature of being a bit of a nepo baby. So, I mean, again, I don't understand why it was a bigger deal. I do think there was an issue that, you know, you don't go tweet about it. You deal with it in house like adults. Oh, wait a minute. So is this what just happened? EK Prospers. Is Prosper filling in for Spears? No Spears. EK Prosper. Little Javon is here. So EK Prosper coming to the rescue. Lizzie got a replacement. AAA now, Strand. Let's go. Let's go. Something that's highly being considered for us to cover. I don't know how I feel about Lizzie Rain. Lizzie Rain. I think she's good. I think she's unique. I think she's different. So we'll see where it goes. Very new, but I think there's upside. Nair. It's M. Who? Guess who's back? ABJ, KJ, I'm drafting at number 8. Put me right in the middle. Surrounded by chaos, right after MDB, fighting my way through every round, every pick, every matchup. If the league thinks this is payback, listen, I had no, I think I'm 11. So I think, you know, I seem to, I seem to be down the list. So yeah, I mean, you got to make the best of it, I guess, because it's a snake draft. Not so bad, not so bad. I think he's being sarcastic. Maybe. I can't read sarcasm. I can only guess. What? When did Spears and his forearm get kicked out of the culling? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago, maybe. Izzy basically said enough. Like Izzy's running things. Yeah, I don't even know if they're really a faction with two people. But Izzy drops Lizzie on her face on the outside. This match has been chaos. No Spears tonight, but EK Prosper has joined in. And, Izzy smashes Lizzie. This is a serious call. Lizzie Rain and Sean Spears for the win. Yeah, right. Are they still the culling? They still have the culling entrance. Ooh, what's up, Joe? What's up, Denisha? Then we can go for that AEW faction title, right? Do you think Zilla's coming? Rumors, lots of rumors. A lot of people feel like he is. I feel, is anyone having audio issues? Oh, maybe it's better now. Was anyone having audio issues? Maybe it was my ears. I mean, the shows are supposed to be intriguing. It's not over. You want them, yeah, you do want them intriguing for sure. I mean, that's the pull. How do we get them to next week? How do we keep the fans coming back for more? KJ counterbook me. LOL. Jokes. Let's go. Ooh. I don't know, bro. You might get yourself in the pickle with that rhetoric. Roman on the OTC card Monday, and I'm there live. Bills Mafia stepping into the arena like KO storming the ring. Respect for the tribal chief. Fists for everyone else. Cake City fam. We eating. Let's go. EK Prosper filling in for Spears. Yes, he is. Sam, if you're just here to be a pain in the ass, don't. Have you seen my Spears? No, your Spears are missing. Where's MDB in Boston? I hope they're not fighting over Mika. Jokes. I think I saw Boston. Audio old start low. Okay. Did start low. I don't mind Nico and Izzy, but they should have kept Jensen maybe. I think they mishandled Jensen, and there was this weird thing where, remember, he went crazy and started just randomly showing up, and then he had to have a meeting with Ava. When he first started doing that and putting out, like, people, remember there was backlash of, like, people worried about Jensen's safety, and it felt like the backlash kind of caused him to back off, which would have only caused me to double down because people were buying into he had actually snapped. He had that meeting with Ava. She rehired him. It was stupid. It killed him. So he's been in Evolve. I think still trying to figure it out, get his reps in. Not a bad wrestler, like as far as being in his in-ring's not terrible by any stretch. Just don't know if we can get behind him. And we've seen him kind of burn out. Nico and Izzy are great. Izzy's got a bright future. Nico is jacked. He looks like he's going to be something. Looks like he could tag with Braun Breaker. I didn't have an audio issue, but I think the crowd was chanting bad words. Touche. Cake City. Be special. That's right, Angela. Let's go. Mika. I'm not reading it. Stone was on the phone with a free agent last week, Zilla or Tay. Tay would be really interesting. And Tay coming over would only spark the rumors of, oh, shit. What about Sammy? Where's Sammy in all this? Zilla, I think a lot of people feel like Zilla might get just pushed into the bloodline stuff. He might. Remember they put Solo here and then Solo on the belt and they took it off him because he wasn't supposed to be here? So maybe not do that again? Does Zilla interfere tonight? It's possible, but then what? If Zilla pops up in the main event, so is that a fatal four-way? How does that pan out? Did they give Shiloh, Hill, Brooks, Jensen's gimmick? Thank you. You said gimmick than you think. Yeah, that's, I mean, funny. Shiloh does run that kind of, especially early Shiloh. Shiloh's evolved a little, but I definitely see it. Nice move by Lizzie. Oh, Nico breaks up the count. 2-2-2. You heard me. Behave. Brooks Jensen is feuding with Elijah Holyfield on Evolve. The feud is pretty good. Also, reports Elijah will be heading to AAA to do some time, get some experience there. It's good shit. I think the WWE seems to be doing a phenomenal job right now of kind of utilizing, AAA, TNA, other avenues to kind of get, people into the rings. It's worked wicked for Trick, for Lola. Is Nico with the headbutt 2 count. EK, big kick out. Fans really behind EK in this one. But yeah, I mean, I think there's been a lot of good use of your brands. So that'll be interesting. And I think Elijah's got a bright future if he doesn't play too stiff. It's all good, bro. All good. Number love. Why do you think Bailey did not show up on last night on Raw because of Triple H going to AEW? I think it's simply story. I think Lara has said it several times that she's done. She's done. She's not coming back. So she's coming back. So they got to sell the injury, the jumping, the hurt, stretch it out. That's why. I don't think anything else is happening. Didn't Tay talk some shit after she left the NXT the first time and did a great promo either on the internet or AEW? I do believe that is correct, Paul. One of many at the time, but I do believe when she left, she was pretty upset and felt like she wasn't given opportunities and so forth. So, listen, things change, times change. Again, I haven't she had a baby. She was relatively young in NXT the first time. I don't even know where her skill level is at per se. So it'd be very interesting if she is signed or does sign. So I don't know what we're getting out of her. Do you sign her just to get Anna Jay? Jokes. Oh, big kick by Shining Wizard by EK. Does Zilla come in as a babyface or a heel? It's a tough question. He feels like a natural heel, Damien. He has a kind of a and a big win. EK with the moonsault and the 3. So the Culling lose. EK and Lizzie with the win to kick off NXT tonight, folks. Not bad, not bad. I mean, didn't expect much out of the Culling, to be honest. Maybe this is a chance for Izzy to say goodbye to Nico now. Sick all y'all. Please send Ilya to AAA. So this one's a very interesting one, Angela, because we had Ilya back. He got hurt, came back, and then faded. And there's mixed reports. Some people said he was still nursing an injury. Other people, as we go back to last Tuesday, and everyone's celebrating Miles and Tavion becoming tag champs. 2 belt Miles. But it's strange to me that you don't have something for Ilya. AAA would be interesting, but maybe a guy that shouldn't need that. Like, I don't know why we couldn't make Ilya something and make him matter on the main roster. Even if you turn him back into old, evil, red-eyed Ilya, there's something there, right? Jensen had the Pillman gimmick going until modern-day Twitter hurt. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Chair. Twitter freaked out, and you can't be doing it. You can't pretend to have mental health issues. What? He's betraying a character, losing their mind. Damn it, fans. I'm telling you, wrestling fans are the reason why we can't have nothing nice. Oh, wait. There's no am and no ain't. Won a tag title shot, apparently. Another $5 from supposedly they trademarked Caesar Sikoa. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I didn't see that, perhaps. Listen, I want to be here when they introduce Caesar Sikoa. And if there's a fair and just universe, Big Nick will be sitting next to me the first time someone says out loud, and here comes Caesar Sikoa. He's going to die. I just hope one day the bloodline is big enough to make out, or to take out, the Callis family. Just 75 more to go. Yeah, they were rocking a solid 49. So we'll see. But the family tree is a big, I think you have obviously 2 options. Does Zilla come in and join Roman as another loyal bloodline member? If he is coming in as Caesar Sikoa, does he come in to help Solo? How do they go about it? Interesting. Why do you think Bayley didn't show? Got that one. 1-0, 0 for 0. I think Izzy Dame could be a star on her own. I think so, too. And the Culling hasn't done anything of value. She still found a way to kind of make a mark, and what she did with Tatum was good. But here we are. So cut Nico loose. I think Nico could probably be okay if you give him some stuff. You get him in there with some good wrestlers. Nico seems to have some talent. And Izzy just continues to do Izzy things. Izzy, Zarya, nothing wrong with that. Izzy taking on Kendall, nothing wrong with that. You can definitely play up the, Danielle versus Galitha. You get it, right? You got it. But yeah, so that's my thought on that. Zillow reminds me of the father Umaga. I love this Samoan spike out of midair. His Samoan spike is dope. And yes, definitely some Umanga vibes happening. We are on a commercial break right now, folks. Don't forget, we got lots coming your way all week long. All right, the TV, the Miles Heights is the tag team name. All Rights and Tavian Heights. Caesar Sokoa sounds like a Samoan salad. Can I get the Caesar Sokoa with my steak, please? Break up the culling and go. Yes. I mean, again, it's not much of a faction with two people anyway. So let it go. I think they individually be able to do their own thing. You know, Nico standing ringside for Izzy or vice versa doesn't really benefit either one of them outside of kind of playing that heel game. But, yeah, let him go. Let him go. You're down to 2. A tag team locker room, but where is Hank and Tank? Oh, no. They're there. They're just short. You didn't see them. How get that doctor off TV? See money? Are you okay? Do you need assistance? Now in 79, Ilya Dragunov was advertised for Money in the Bank. Never say never. Is that one of the ones where you leave like a TBD? Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we have one more spot to fill, and the music hits, and it's him for sure. I liked it when Carmelo, Ilya, Sammy, who else was there? Trick kinda was just getting there, where they played a little hot potato with the U.S. title, the open challenges. I thought we were getting banger matches. You know, Ilya won a couple, Sammy got the bell, won a couple. Yeah, I kind of missed that. I think that was something that was working. Put Zilla with the Tongans. I mean, there you go. Why not? The Tongans are going to win the world tag titles coming up now. So early prediction, but I believe we're getting a triple threat match. And they're going to get those belts. He was bland as Looney Tune. Jokes. Looney Tunes are actually fun. Blonde woman with above average looks will get a million chances in WWE. Yes and no. I mean, for the longest time, yes. We joked about it all the time. It was just like they were like producing them out of a machine. And everywhere, those backstage segments in NXT was just a wave of blonde. It was the blonde ambition. Now, I do believe that they have mixed it up a little more. I'll put it that way. I don't think it's as blonde saturated as it used to be. However, being an aesthetic business, if you have a look, it will get you further. But you got to find the ring stuff. I think a good example of that is Liv Morgan, right? The pretty girl who's blonde, who could have just rested on her looks and not really put in the work, but she's put in the work. So not only is she over aesthetically, she's over as far as being a character. I said, well, wait a minute. Callie's pissed off. Just hijacking the show. Callie, we're going back to Looney Tunes isn't bland. Oh, wait a minute. More music. On the fly. Kendall Jordan saying, hey now. Oh, it's Kalani. Kalani. The second best KJ on Tuesdays. Why hasn't Miss Parker gotten a belt or a call up? So I do think that Miss Parker injuries played a factor in her development. And I think as she was injured and recovering, when she had a couple matches, they weren't the best matches. I felt like she was a little clunky, a little sloppy. You could see moments where she was thinking about her moves or, delaying to kind of remember what's next. That's just what I kind of saw. I do think injury was a factor in that. But I do believe the reason why Miss Parker, oh, wait a minute. Busy night as now we got Kendall and Ren. The Tuesday night button is
Yum-yums.
we are
Yum,
popping
yums.
off
Yum-yums. Yum-yums.
everywhere we go. But yeah, I think I'm not that worried about Miss Parker right now. I think she's got a lot ahead of her, but I do think that's why she's working with Natty. I don't think just any wrestler in NXT lines up and then they go do a program with Natty. I think that's somebody that you think is a great talent that hasn't quite figured out the in ring, and Natty's a phenomenal person to get her to that next level. So I do think they're working with her. I think they like her. I think she's just had some hiccups in her early career. And I do like the fact that they've kind of built her up as, you know, good, but always seems to find a way to miss the mark. And I think you have a good chance to kind of rebuild her and have a kind of a nice, kind of redemption run. As Kendall's got a contract. No number one contenders, no tournaments, just one-on-one. This should cook. I mean, they had a rivalry in Evolve that was strong. Michael Chandler has been at the Performance Center lately training. Very interesting. Would Chandler be a guy that could come in and do something? He's got a mouth. He won't. He have no problem cutting a promo. So she wants the title match next week. So Kalani is going to get a shot, but she says she's not going to waste the title shot on these fans in here, so she gets booed by the locals. Vince, for sure, bro. That's why Sable got shoved down her throat, right? And him and Vinny Rue couldn't help themselves, is the stories I've heard. So can't, allegedly, but yeah. Fan of that white cotton they wear. That's the rumor. Rhea, Tatum, and Alexa just team up. Yeah, right? The goth baddies. Oh. Callie knocks out Kendall. Ren fighting back, but she's outnumbered. Interesting. So I'm not sure how this played out. So is Kalani getting a title shot? Is Callie getting a title shot? Are they both getting a title shot? I'm assuming Heat Wave, right? Javon Evans Jr. Facts. Champ down, champ down. So we go to the back. Cruz, Montana with Stoner. What up, Stoner? Parker needs some work on her mic skills. I would agree with that as well. Fair enough. I mean, I think she has a personality. Her pre-tapes are really good. Live definitely needs a little bit of love. Ooh. Carver, Montana. Oof. I mean, we're getting some interesting potential here in NXT. I know over the last while we've talked about the people that have left, and it's created a bit of a hole, and there's a bit of a transition. But there's some talent lining up. You just got Montana, though I don't know he'll be here long. Carver's killing it, becoming something. There's people that we're not seeing right now that are good, as it looks like we're about to get the Dark State entrance, which will bring us to Sugar taking on Dion again. Boom, 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 boom. Kalani and Kendall at Heat Wave. Yes. So how did Callie get bumped out of this? All right, folks. Poll going up. Let me know who you're taking on this one. As start a poll. Who wins? All right. As it looks like we're going to commercial, I'm getting an ad for Heat Wave as we set up the next match. As I said, Dion going to take on Sugar, and this has been ongoing. Does this build? I think tonight, again, not much amounts. Even if there's a win, there will be a win by some type of hook or crook. And then we set up, Sugar, and Dion at Heat Wave, maybe in a cage or no DQ or no outside interference. I think Nick was right. Don't tell him that. At this point, Dark State, had the bit of a break off. I think maybe the most talented guy of the group, or the most show ready guy in Sugar and Saquon, has left. So now they definitely feel like, and I don't even know. Like Nick felt like the sum of their parts might be okay. I'm not sure, because it's not good enough just to be a big old body. What more do you bring to the table? So I'm a little worried about. I think Dion's a talented kid. I really do. I think he's got a lot of upside. Osiris, maybe. I don't know. We haven't heard much from him. We'll see what he can do. I mean, and Cutler, well, who knows? Sugar for the win. I don't even know if I can read that. Kick City just hit the building, and I'm losing my mind. Drafting number 8. Guy feeling all the vibes. Welcome back. I got Sugar for the win. Armstrong got next. So Cali won in next, but it's Kalani first, Cali second, and Cali out of the current picture. Like, again, I think maybe the men's world title will be a triple threat, so maybe you can't do both.
Yum yums.
Yum yum for Cruz, for Nair. There you go. Upon request, folks. Kalani is still aboard. She's better as a heel chair. Like, I think she's got a little more of an annoying, bratty attitude as a heel. Grinds on a lot of people. Again, a little green. Definitely green. And definitely trying to find her moments. Happy Tuesday. What is up, Tom? Ace, let's go. Love it. All right. In commercial break, we are going to get back to the action. Dion for the win. Let's go. What did Nair say? I think I already got it. What's up? There you go. It's the Yum Yums. The Tongans are a part of the Rock's relatives, Romans, on part of the Anawahi family. Yeah, I mean, it's, again, I think Nick coined it best, the Polynesian principality, right? It's kind of, you got to be close. I mean, we even threw in, hey, maybe Jonah can join this whole group. Smolatonga. That's right. And his friend Chubatonga. What are we doing? Cali got next. Okay. All right, folks. Once again, I'll take a second to remind everybody out there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to play the ad. Get some merch. That's right, folks. We have all the merch, including the new Pause for the Cause t-shirts, as well as the What Are We Doing? We got more coming your way. We still have the pre-match shirt on sale. Get your swag, get your merch, get your stuff today. Aprons, pajamas, crop tops, drop tops, and all the stuff in between as we get Saquon coming out next. Saquon got a new entrance. Let's go. Who's winning this one, folks? Bum, 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 bum. Who's winning? Breaking news. Zilla Fatu has reportedly signed a WWE contract. Dun, dun, dun. All right, if it's true, Damian, where does he appear? We're off and running right out of the gate. Saquon wasting no time. 53% of the chat take in Sugar. Sugars! I want the Tongans to start having names like Sleepy. Jose, that would be great. Oh, that would be great. Grumpy Tonga. Do it. Do it. Another Samoan. Joy. Bro, there's many more. Think about it. We never did get Lance. That never even worked out. And, we let go of Thomas' brother. Do they bring him back at some point? Oh, nice. Flatliner. 2-2-2. From False Finish, that's when I got the news. Okay. We'll see what's up. Shout out. Leilani Green after 3 years. Chelsea? Lola Vice, let's go. Haku for world champ. Haku sets the tone. And like I said, the Tongans are going to get the tag title sooner than later, I believe. That's not really a reach of a prediction. I do like Zilla, though. He's got an attitude. He's got a chip. He's got a confidence. I saw an interview with him today talking about how he never planned to wrestle until he had gotten himself in trouble. And then he was trying to get everything back together and do more and kind of get, on a better path. And he, kind of realized he has family in the business. And it's, he's done well. He's held belts in independent companies. He's had good moments. He seems to wrestle really good. His finisher's dope. I've seen him have very good matches. The only risk, kind of similar to Jacob once upon a time, where, the WWE always felt a little worried about the potential of things going, not well. But I think with Zilla being in an environment where everyone's super professional, he's still young, but there will be a lot of people around him, so let's hope it's something good. Zilla shows up tonight. I'm thinking if he has signed. But then, okay, so if he shows up tonight, Damien, does he take someone out? Does he cost Cruz Santana the title shot? Waller becomes number one contender because of Zilla? And then why? Is there an answer? I don't know. Stinky Tonga. Boston's finest. Finally here. What's up, Boston? I don't get no sweeter than that. That's what they're going with. Yeah, the Candyman. Candyman. Dopey Tonga. I think we already talked about the Jericho Cruise, very much so. And actually, our logo has been on the Jericho Cruise, thanks to our buddy Scott out there. Wore our merch over to the Jericho Cruise, got pictures at the Jericho Cruise in our shirt, which is great. What's up, big guy? Look at all the love Boston giving out. He's feeling good today. He's so cheery in the chat. Did you file some taxes today, my guy? What? Just in a good mood. I like it. I brought this whole Zilla thought out. Okay. And then I got played. Sneezy Tonga. Bashful Tonga. The Bullfrog will be here tonight, bro. It's definitely going to be here. What up, Ken? Scott goes on the Jericho Cruise every year. Yeah, he's and I don't want to be misquoted, but we did. It's in our channel, folks. If you want to check it out, a friend of the channel and a regular in the chat, our buddy Scott, who's been a member for a long time. He legitimately, I interviewed him and we talked about the Jericho Cruise and his experience there. And he's part of some planning committees and yeah, good on Scott. Again, he doesn't miss a year, so big shout out to Scotty. Caesar Sokoa. Dude, I can't wait. I hope his name is Caesar Sokoa. I really do. Who was that? Oh, it was Cuddle. Cutler, Sugar gets planted and eats the loss. Okay. Dark State right on top. So Dark State all over Saquon. Yeah, that's true. That's pretty epic. That's goated for sure, my guy. Abso-fucking-lutely. One of my favorite things that's ever happened with this channel. WWE and TKO new wrestling promotion, all Samoan wrestling. They could. It's interesting. They still do like the Dark State graphics. Just Saquon has an X over him. As we go to the back, we're with Stoner. That sounds like Ray Ray. Ray Ray wants to know what's the NXT AAA relationship like. How we doing? As we're setting up Worlds Collide, remember, as well on the horizon. Kofi Kingdom and Austin Creed are set to debut Jericho Cruise, according to Google. Interesting. TK Prosper, Fatal 4-Way, Phoenix, TK Prosper. La Parca. Okay. Interesting. I can see the new day debuting on the Jericho Cruise. Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't count, if that's what you mean. Yes. So they're organizing. So, Mark, if you're listening to me, Stone and Ray Ray are setting up a fatal 4-way match. And I missed the fourth name. But Ray Phoenix will defend his title. I think it was TK Prosper, La Parca, and one other person. Fact checkers, let me know. As here comes Zarya. She will be defending that North American title. All right, folks, get your votes in. The night rolls on. Almost at the top of that first hour. Zarya gonna take on Ren Sinclair. Let me know who you're taking, who you got. Why is it Zarya? Imagine if Ava was still here. No, I don't want to. Bro. I won't do it. So we go back to commercial break. I agree, Money. There's a lot of something he could be doing. If yes and no, we got to remember. So if he's dealing with severe concussion issues or post-concussion syndrome, even the act of being in a room full of people could be troubling. Trying to like project or talk could be an issue. So I don't know, and that's just a presumption on my part. And again, I don't think Tony wants anybody. I don't think he wants GMs because he doesn't want to be accused of being like the Fed. And then in addition to that, I don't think he wants the perception that someone else is running the show, not him. That's my take. If Ray isn't going to be there to have the convo in person, don't do it, because listening to the shitty speaker phone was unbearable. All right, the second half, you got me. The first half, I mean, dude, what do you want us to do? I mean, he was on Raw last night. He's running AAA. Stopping in Florida might be a little tricky, all right? So demanding. As we get a commercial or an ad for Unreal Season 3. Stone will pick the last. Okay, thank you, everyone. So I didn't miss it. He didn't say it. It'll be medicine part of AEW if they knew what the F they were doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cole's got a lot of upside. He had an outstanding run while he was doing his thing. It's been unfortunate to watch. And I think, I don't know, man. I feel like AEW is one of the places where I know at the time with Vince, Adam Cole had hit a ceiling and Vince would rather see him as a manager than an in-ring competitor, mostly because of his stature. So, again, a guy that can talk, the guy that can be heelish, fans love him. There's something. Dale's got Zarya. Zarya retains. Do you know what's insane, KJ? FTR, 3 dynamites remaining until All In, and they haven't been on a show. Are they going to make the show? No, they're not. I don't think so. I do not expect FTR. They put out notice that they are semi-retired. And I think it's just so like almost like they're out of the way while Copeland and Christian do what they're doing with the Bucks, But I mean, again, if there's been an ongoing thing and history and real life connection between CNC and FTR. If you were building towards that for All In, I'd be way more interested than the Young Bucks just being dropped in because they're EVPs and it's a big show. It's unfortunate. FaceTime would have been better. Yeah. I don't disagree, Jose. I said it. Boston had me in the second half. Join Jericho Cruise, my bad. I heard it's a good time. Zarya sounds like a disease from not washing your hands. Oof. Oof. Spatter. Ava's the lip and Mika is the bullfrog on the same show is a no-go for me. No. There could only be one. That's true, KJ, if his issues are that apparent. Yeah, I don't know, right? I don't know if he's just on he's one of the dozens of wrestlers that are being paid by TK to be home. I don't know. Zarya should wash that shit off her face and just go natural. I mean, it's her war paint, so I can't really fault her for that. I don't dislike it. Middle ground, get a better speakerphone. Facts, yeah. Yeah, I know. I agree. Like, it's kind of, when it's hard to hear and it's not the most visually captivating scene, I don't mind them playing it like, oh, I'm on the phone. But then maybe you do, you do Stone on FaceTime and you kind of got the shot where you can see Ray talking. That might be more compelling, more interesting. I don't mind them kind of presenting like, look, the manager's wheeling and dealing and we're doing business and Ray's showing up to ask Roman to, do this thing. And he's showing up, calling NXT to try and. So Ray has been a very present guy and they're continuing this very hot run for AAA. I know. Don't tell Uncle Dave. You'll get all upset because CMLL is killing it. Exactly, money, because that hurt my ears. My freaking ears. Zilla Mama watching NXT live. Watch party, y'all. What up, Tanisha? Are you drunk right now, Ray? Ray sounded like he was doing an interlude on a Drake song. Facts. You used to call me on the cell phone. Ava could she could get off her TV. That's about it. As Waller in the back, Waller is giving Sugar shit. Pause. Wow. Oh, Saquon limping, looking for revenge, though. So Waller gives him shit. Like, what is wrong with you? So if this is part of Waller's new gimmick where he just goes around stirring the pot, it could work for me. Here comes Ren St. Clair. Who Ren's impressed me a lot, I'll be honest. For the last couple months, her personality grinds on me a little, but in ring, she's been outstanding. To me, she's like the new Lyra Valkyria. She's kind of that, about her personality, but yay about what she does in the ring. Nair. Whoa, Raw last night got some of y'all being extra mad. Today, it's okay. It'll get better. Listen, it was better. It was okay last week. I really liked it last week. As a guy who has been accused of being too nice to the WWE, I did not love last night's show. The ending, when the endings of shows are so important, and I don't mind a moment where a heel faction or a heel team gets over and it's part of a story and it's cool. Last night fell very flat, so that was part of my low rating. Is just we went out on a very flat note. Done, but yeah, it'll be all right. People act like the world's ending, Nair. Right? Chicken Little syndrome all around us. The sky is falling. KJ, do you think we could swerve? Can we swerve at all in London? Only when we drive. Only when we drive, Damien. But Swerve not being a part of the All In build. FTR is not a part of the All In build. MJF hasn't been part of the All In build till now, and he's only building to a Battle Royal spot for a guy that might be injured. So that is more my concern heading into All In, that some of the biggest names, biggest stars haven't been a part of building the excitement on the road to All In. Lots of Moxley, lots of Jericho, but maybe not the right people that are really able to get in there and do something cool. I heard Britt Baker hasn't been on AEW TV since 2024. That is true. Grayson Waller, Spaz saying Ava King. Yeah, it's zesty. I think she does the giving, but good luck, Spaz. Grab your ankles, buddy. Waller was giving Shagwire's advice. Sugars. Yeah, like in an asshole-ish kick in the ass, move, what are you gonna do about it type of vibe. So yeah, very interesting, Damien. Dale, OG Dale, my bad. One fall. Pipe bomb Waller stirring shit up. I like it. Wrong, Sinclair. Oh, why so wrong? If she wrong, I don't want to be right. Mike, Joe, Henry, Rome. That's jokes. Here we go now. North American Championship match. Ding, ding, ding. We are rolling right now. Ren is in control a little bit. Looking for a suplex. It looks like Zarya reverses. Big boot. Zarya Ren. I'm going Zarya, but I'm intrigued. Like I said, I can't recall a match that Ren has had that I thought was terrible in a long while. Her with the quarter pound crew. I didn't like the quarter pound crew at all. So she kind of got labeled with the same idea, and her personality, like I said, it grinds on me a little. Like I could see her being like the annoying peppy heel, like the sarcastic Regina George kind of. Nah, not even the mean girl vibe. More the, like the teacher's pet. I'm just a good person and I love everyone, but I'm actually really evil and conniving. That escalated. Swerve, Joe, Wardlow. Joe was filming Twisted Metal. Though he should have been back, could have been back, I think. Wardlow got hurt and is still working with American Gladiators. Wardlow's a great example of a guy that organically got over, then organically got cold as shit thanks to the booking. Only matches that make sense tomorrow on Dynamite is Switchblade versus Finlay. They've been feuding. Yes. My hope, though, is if they are going to do this match, this has to be a jump off to the pay-per-view, doesn't it? Wouldn't it have to be, Damien? Zarya or Ren St. Clair, who will win? Zarya. Zarya and Ren are having a match. Yes, they are. What did I miss? New tag team, Sugar Wall. Sugar Wall. You're my sugar wall. Happy birthday, Lexi Nair. Isn't that the shit you use to get like hair off your body? You go get some Lexi Nair and I don't know. Is that what is that? Am I right? Let's see how much better this match is compared to last week when it was rushed with the speed stuff. The speed stuff can go away. They don't need to gimmick up their lower card. Have good matches for the North American title. The speed title doesn't hold a whole lot of value to me. Or make it an Evolve thing. Maybe either, you can be speed champion in Evolve. Yes. Nair for the hair down there. Hey, now. That's zesty.
What kind of shit is that?
What's good on All In so far, and what do you think they will save for the Battle of Chicago? That means, I think they won't save anything. I think they don't give a shit if they double down or, they'll completely load up the next one without any rhyme or reason. We'll get, 10 nothing matches with as much name power as they can throw at it. But sorry. Let me double check here. Spaz, to answer your question. I know, OG Dale, we're not going to talk a lot about it, but we'll get back to NXT. They're on commercial. Oh, wait, that's not it. My bad, y'all. That's on me. Let me see. All right. Matches. Willow Mercedes. I think I would be more excited if this was Willow Thekla, and I think the promos would have been more fun. Willow cut a really good promo on Mercedes last week. I'm still struggling. I think Mercedes has been a little more tolerable since coming back from injury, but I think Thekla I would prefer. Kenny Will. I'm torn on Kenny Will. My opinion on Kenny taking on Will is A, it's the wrong match. B, this would have been amazing 5 years ago. I don't know if Will Kenny in 2026 is the same, but I'm willing to let them prove me wrong. I think that's fair. I worry that, they're not, everyone ages. Everyone gets, a little bit slower, a little less, athletic. Things happen, time happens, injuries happen, illness happens. Are they the same? Cope and Christian taking on the Bucks, I'm not interested in. Cope and Christian have been okay as tag champs. And as far as I'm concerned, the Bucks just got dropped into this. And it's not that exciting. I can close my eyes and tell you everything that happens in a Buck match from start to finish. So I wish I was a little more excited about that. Andrade, it might be hurt. And the Casino Gauntlet match, sure, okay, it's a gauntlet match. Continental Cup final, it's going to be Eddie versus Moxley, the Nick special. And then Double D's taking on the Brawling Birds. The Brawling Birds are guaranteed to win. Sure, it should be all right. 6 matches so far for All In. Anybody like any of that I just read, just making you go, shit, I got to see this. People who threw Nair at other people on the last day of school and pretending it was shaving cream were evil. Oof, that's rude. That shit stinks too. Does Darby versus Kevin Knight fit at All In? Yes, except if they hadn't done all the other bullshit and fucked around and moved everything, yes. But I still think Darby versus Kevin Knight has more intrigue than some of the other things. Ooh, big club by Zarya. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm not sure if anybody does. Zarya into a suplex. Has Zarya lost weight? She doesn't look as thick as I remember. Maybe. Toning up. She might have toned down the muscle a little bit. Okay, it's very possible. Discus clothesline. I saw Kenny Will live in Toronto a few years back. My introduction to Will. I hope this time around doesn't ruin that memory. Again, A great match. I know exactly the match you're talking about. And yeah, I just want AEW to kind of evolve a little. And I feel like as much as people bag on like, oh, the bloodline again, I feel like, oh, Kenny again, oh, the Bucks again, oh, Moxley again. As right now, Dion and Sugar have fought back into the ring. Saquon's pissed. The Dark Order's chasing right in the middle of this match. Ren drop kicks Cutler with a chair. Super predictable. And I guarantee, like Brawling Birds, British win. Will Ospreay, British win. Zarya gets the pin off the distraction. And still, you're a North American champion, folks. MJF is winning the gauntlet. Yeah, I don't care. I'm going to be completely honest, guys. And I know Nick is the scarf-carrying member, but I'm a big fan of MJF. When MJF was running out and cutting those fire promos and saying shit nobody else said, breaking the fourth wall, talking about other companies, great MJF, calling his boss a mark. But now he's been reduced. He is, like I said before, if he's the devil, he's the South Park version of the devil. Just not scary, not overly creative or tricky or maniacal. Just, a goofy little guy. I think MJF's been grossly misvalued. And I think that the in-house nepotism and favoritism that exists, MJF gets pushed down the card and Kenny gets what should be the MJF match. If all they had to do was not take the belt off MJF, let him be the champion, let him be a pain in the ass, let him play keep away, and finally when we get to All In, Will beats him and the world rejoices. But they fucked that up. So we go to Shiloh Hill on his phone. Could be Mox versus McGuinness. Ugh. Oh, McGuinness is British. Fuck. Either way, Nick's happy, and either way, I'm miserable. There is no winning that one, bonkers. I like Nigel. I hate gang banging on him. These overly boring, I'm still a wrestler. It's not Nick Aldis. Right? Shiloh's got mass and mice. So he shouldn't plan the mask. So did he break it? He broke a bone. He he talks funny. I want Switchblade versus Moxley at All in London. I mean, it's going to take a quick, hard pivot to get there. And I don't, because Moxley won't lose. Right? They'll have a really good match, but they'll give the win to Moxley. Moxley only cares about Moxley. Kevin Knight turning on Darby always it felt unnecessary. It was silly. He was one of your over baby faces. Why would you do that? All right, a guy we haven't seen much of, but Mason Rook. Rook is taking on Cam. Get your votes in. Will this match even be good? I don't know. So we go to another commercial break. The poll is up. Get your votes in, folks. 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Why did they just do that for this match? It was so stupid. Yeah, I'm maybe a little stupid. More about them being mad at each other and Sugar being pissed that he got screwed than the match, right? Plus, it gives Ren an out that, Zarya beat her, but she was distracted. maybe a little silly, but they're trying to two birds stoned at once, buddy. The South Park Satan has set. Yeah, he does. That's the rumor. I think TK is scared of making MJF too popular. I completely agree with that. I truly believe, Jose, that you killed your response as far as, to me, this is one of the biggest problems in AEW. I do believe that we saw, Wardlow get not organically over pulled back. I think when stars come into the company, they get tempered so they don't hurt the egos and feelings of other wrestlers. Moxley or Jericho or the Bucks. Like, remember the Bucks played hot potato with the tag belts because FTR was getting cheered. FTR was getting love. There's been a lot of in-house pettiness in AEW. The best example, obviously, is the fact that they couldn't be professional and make money off Punk and all that. Imagine they turned that into a storyline. So I think MJF, being a little of an outsider, being a little blunt, a little rough around the edges, I think he's collecting all the money he can. But I do believe he's destined to be in WWE and be good in WWE. Yeah, I agree. I think the best talent is being held back, and I think it's hurting the show. When you're letting guys like Jericho go over everybody, you're hurting the product, and certain people won't admit that. Won't admit it. AEW turned MJF into a bitch. Stewie, don't tell Nick. He's a bitch. It's true. Nair, it's true. He running away or getting outsmarted. The heel is supposed to be the dastardly heel. And he is constantly, he popped up behind me and I got beat up again. Yeah, biatch. Why interfere in that match? I just don't. I think because that match didn't matter too much. I don't think it does. Maybe that's why. And again, maybe it's a way to, Ren lost. We don't want Ren taking the loss, but she was distracted, so fine. I don't know, man. I think it's just happened to be maybe because it was maybe they should have done it in this match, Rook and Cam. But yeah, I can't tell you why. The Hurt Syndicate and heel MJF would have fed families. The Hurt, but again, backstage egos and backstage bullshit. Something happened, and people want to deny it. Something happened because all of a sudden they weren't doing this storyline, which I didn't really love the whole storyline. And remember, they stomped all over the big, like, I'm finally in. Like, he signed a contract to join a faction. For the first time in history, that happened. And then when the night they did the contract signing, it got stomped on and overlooked and overshadowed. And then it never really felt right. And those are guys, Hurt Syndicate. And this is the things that, for all the bitching about the competition, how are we not talking more about this? Why is Meltzer spending hours talking about the things that are wrong in the other company? Why is he spending hours defending the ratings and defending all the bullshit and not talking about these guys? You're really going to give me a hard time about Dom status in the company and where he's at in his career. Yeah, we haven't seen the Hurt Syndicate in like 6-8 months. Right? It's crazy. Cam Hendricks. But that becomes the question. Nice facts on Japanese moose. Let's go. All right, give me a second, folks. My head is going to... Abooga booga. I'm back. That's a rush of blood to the head. Pause, maybe. Shiloh does talk a little bit fast, even not on the vitamins, right? A little fast. And sometimes you got to slow it down. When the wind arrives in triple form, Cake City will ride. Dude, you've been so poetic lately. He's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad. He's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your dad. Mason, Rook, back, body, drop. They got to give him some like facial hair and let this mullet grow back out. It's not a good look. They cleaned him up too much. I think you get a triple threat for the TNT title at All in London. What would be who? Knight? Who? He's big, he's bad, he looks like my mom. That's jokes. Mason Rook. Mason Rook for the win. Oh, it's Cam pops him. Crowd's a little quiet for this one. The Mason Rook Cam Hendricks Twitter beef is wild. They're doing better on Twitter than they are doing on on live shows. Thank you for the $2, sir. Greatly appreciate it. But it's kind of funny, but true. Got Rook. 69% of the chat. Oh, 69. There's too much competitive balance in AEW. Yes. When you pull everyone into the middle, when you pull everyone into the gray, you get porridge. You get mush. You get bland. And nobody's exciting. Nobody feels like a grandiose star. Everybody feels the same. When your top guys can have to go 15 minutes against any bottom guy on any given night, you're all average. You're pulling down everybody. When John Moxley is in your title scene, it's pulling down the brand. It is why so many people have given up on AEW. They don't want to admit it, but it's the truth. If they mated Mika and Blockwood and Mason Rook, oh, brah. Kick. This feels like a developmental match, oddly enough. And I know what you're thinking. Did he just say that? Yeah, I did. It looks like what it is. Imagine if WWE put Cody and Andrade, Cody in the Andrade, that's what they would do with MJF. Yeah, I had one of the fans out there, one of the wrestling fans, quote unquote, that loves all the wrestling, but only says bad things about WWE. When proposed with the same idea of, what if Roman was in a battle royal at Mania? And he said, well, he won the Rumble, same thing. No, it's not actually. Imagine, you were doing the Andre Battle Royal and it was Roman, Cody, 1-2. Like that's the big story. And again, the Battle Royal becomes irrelevant because the story is them. But imagine for all the complaining about Tozawa or like I said, they're not booking LA Knight very good, or they're not. Imagine you're going to say that LA Knight, we haven't seen Deonna Purrazzo in 2 years. Other FTR, in and out. Now they're semi-retired. We think, we don't know. Talent like Kevin Knight having to fight guys like Jericho instead of fighting other guys like him that could, again, be where the best wrestle, have the most exciting matches. And as much as I think some of the most exciting matches come from AEW, as Rook goes into the turnbuckle that's exposed, and then a kick into the middle one that I think was supposed to be in the top. Okay, that sucked. Rook takes the loss. Cam cheats. Crowd didn't care. And the match overall was kind of clunky. And Rook is not, again, with all the talk about Rook coming in and how he looks, you're kind of waiting for him to kind of show you why he's the exception. Why I might look different, but look what I can do. And I haven't got that vibe at all from him. As we go to the back with Vanity Project. Oh, there's Mika. Battletoad in the house. 2 wrongs don't make a right, and there can't be 2 rights because 1 wrong. Facts. And again, I think often I hear from fans of like, but they's terrible answer. As the tag champs are here, Vanity Project want a rematch. Jackson gets a match next week. If he wins, he gets the North American title match, and the tag team get the tag title match. Okay. You want me to wrestle twice on the same night? Dates aren't confirmed. Interesting. I took MJF weeks to join the Hurt Syndicate and then was out in a week. Yeah. And I think one of the worst things you can do, and this was a big Vinceism for a long time, Jose, is when you don't pay something off, especially if you get into something. When it happened a lot, kind of like with the Bray stuff at times, other storytelling where we're going along with something and it just ends. And I think that's another example of Tony doing it, where we just got nothing out of it, right? And I think MJF's been snake bitten in a lot. Like the fact that MJF has got himself so over and is considered one of the top guys in AEW. You got to remember, he spent a year with Jericho, and Jericho did everything he could to hold that kid down. Everything he could. Everything. And then, he goes into his own faction, and that doesn't really go well, and it kind of falls apart, and there was a lack of cohesion and a lack of storytelling. And then he went through all that stuff with Adam Cole, which got over as fuck. But then, with all the injuries, it got cold and it didn't work. And then they were at Adam Cole's house making peanut butter sandwiches. And then he's the devil that gets duped by everyone. He's the guy that gets fooled by everybody. He's the guy that gets beat up, but, doesn't really, he's had a few moments, but he's hardly a heel that has been dominant or hard to beat or, undeniable. We need more of a trailer park trash aesthetic. Yes. They should make him look and feel like a hooligan. They cleaned him up. They took the punk off him. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering, we are on a commercial break right now. The show rolls on. We are at 9:20, about 40 minutes still on the clock. Lots coming your way, including Mike Santana versus Waller. Mason Rook takes an L. That's not done because the exposed turnbuckle. I'm not a fan of either guy in the ring, Cam or Rook, right? And again, with Rook's body type, similar to a guy who's super small, if you're super big, you gotta have some intangibles. Why is the super small guy out here being booked? Why is this big guy getting booked? Well, I'll show you, because look how good I am. I'm undeniable regardless of what I look like. But right now, Rook just feels like a big chubby guy that wrestles. I think a triple threat between Okada versus Fletcher and the Alpha at All in London. I got the title Fletcher has. Okay. Should be, if they book it and go that way, that'd be great. Okada has not moved my needle a whole lot in a long time. Fletcher's a star. I would love to see more for Fletcher. If Fletcher got the booking and treatment that Moxley got, it would be better for AEW. Right? And the Alpha's the Alpha, so let him go. Let him have it. Another guy that should be at the top, booked solid. Dynasties are good for sports. Facts. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat? Are we quoting Pink Floyd? Is it? Yeah, right? AEW, all equal wrestling. Facts. All equivalent wrestling. But it's a problem. And we went through it. We went through it with the WWE. 50-50 booking kills people. And I think what people have to adjust to, fans have to understand, if I'm pushing a guy like Oba right now, or if I'm pushing a Trick, they're going to beat some of our favorites. They're going to beat some good talent along the way to build them up. You need good wrestlers to kind of build that up and make it make sense. So fans get upset, oh, so-and-so took an L. But again, this whole idea that you can never lose, every loss is so dramatic, but you have to create that tier system. And I think when we watch WWE, there isn't like we know who the top guys are. Some people are sick of them, and maybe we got to switch some people out. But we know exactly these are top guys. These are mid card guys. These are lower mid card guys. Like we know we can, for the most part. There's a couple guys that will blend and move up and down, but for the most part, you can identify who's who. In the other company, it doesn't matter. You can't really tell. And people get mad if I got mad. I thought Tozawa went way too long with Waller, or you get a match where the under talent goes way too long just to lose anyway, and we knew that was how it was going to play out. But AEW is infamous for that, right? Will Ospreay's going to fight for the world title this weekend, but first he's going to fight Lee Moriarty for 22 minutes. Or Moxley's going to fight Commander this week. Why? Jericho, Kevin Knight, why? Don't we have better? And as a fan of AEW, don't you want better for Kevin Knight than Jericho? Oh, but Jericho's great. But Jericho, even if you think Jericho's great or love Jericho's career, he's not at his prime. Put Kevin Knight, your TNT champion, in the ring with guys in their prime. I don't get why that's hard. And every fan should want that. But here come the birthright. So this show went from pretty good to, I don't know if I care. Did I even? Oh, yeah, there you go. I went by it twice. All right, folks, get your votes in. Get your predictions in. Who you taking? Who you taking? As we get Lexis King and the birthright in the ring. And now this has been an interesting story for OTM. As, we've seen change. And we've seen them kind of break up, but not really. They're still hanging out. They're still friends. But, your partner is moved on and Lucian's left behind. So is this an attempt for a little bit of a solo run for Lucian to see what he can do? That's the question. Lucian. What the fuck? I don't even know what that's at, but how you doing, Cooper? Tag champs in the office. Rook's not it. He doesn't feel like it. And like I said before, Paul, part of his gimmick was he was grimy, gritty. Like he's that guy, right? The stubble on the face, the long mullet. A guy that, looked like would cause trouble if he really wanted to. Now he's just too cleaned up, too like makeup and too haircutted. Yeah, I made that word up today. But yeah, I mean, there's too much. He's too polished. He needs to be grimy. Yeah, it's not good. And like I said, if he's going to be like if you're going to take special interest in him because he's a bigger dude that can do cool stuff, he's got to show off his cool stuff. Him fighting Cam in a boring match, anybody could have done that. Cam is the speed demon of Cake City. The match chaos. What are you on? Seems good, ABJ. You're funny, though. Mason Rook is overhyped. Yeah, I mean, considering nobody knew who he was at all, and then his debut got everybody talking, I don't think they did a good enough job to follow up on, you guys think watch this. You guys want to criticize this guy? Watch this. And it just hasn't manifested. Marla got the wave here. Thank you, Glam Squad. Love it. Miles' bow tie is killing me, Smalls. The bow tie is ridiculous.
Killing me, Smalls.
Let's go. Lexis King has been here for a hot minute now. And I'm not realizing it, but what's been 3 years? He's been here for a while. Like Lexis King is turning into like the Tyler Breeze of this generation for NXT. Miles Bourne in 2 title matches at Heatwave. Well, Stone was non-committal. Does he do one at Heatwave and one somewhere else, non-committal. But you assume that Drake's going to find a way to win, and both those belts will be on the line. It'll be interesting if it doesn't pan out. Da, 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 da. 5-star Kick City. I do remember it was some backstage beef with MVP and MJF. That's what hurt Syndicate, and MJF didn't work. That came out, and then it was instantly, there were people out there, and I think MVP might have been one of them, shot it down. And, it never happened. I don't buy it. Why else would the storyline die? So, and it's not the first time. And again, with MVP, excuse me, Nair, with MVP, he's burned the other bridge, right? He said all types of shit. So he's not going back over the WWE bridge. It's burned. It's gone. It's done. Never say never, but so it's got to go good here. So I think when MVP says things like we're not going to fight for titles, right now, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby are just on the TK retirement fund. And I think they're in a group of how many wrestlers? 40, 50, 60 wrestlers currently at home that haven't worked in months. Lucian gets a big win. Lexus King continues to suck. So it looks like we're on the cusp of maybe a little bit of a solo run here. Nice one-handed spine bud, one-handed choke slam. Well, it wasn't even a choke slam. One-handed Uranagi. KJ, what do you think? WWE, TNA, and AEW are all missing unanimously. It's a great, absolute question. One thing across the board, I think all three companies. I feel like Ren shows up, wants another crack at Zarya. She got interfered with, so that's why they did that, to set up something else. I think unanimously all three in 2026. It's a combination of the consistency and the strength of their stories. I think all three of them could do better in that regard. It's almost like we all threw our hands up and said kayfabe was dead. Kayfabe's done. Fuck it. And then I think times where we really dive into kayfabe, it can be really cool that you can really use social media to your advantage. But I don't think really one company's doing a stellar job in that. And I just think across the board, that storytelling is so important. The soap opera element of wrestling is really what the big draw is supposed to be. So I think all three companies kind of, in their own ways, have their various issues in that regard. As we up next, I'm sick of people comparing him to Vader and Kevin Owens. I think strictly, I know Bam Bam Bigelow's been thrown around. I think I used it. But it's like you took Bam Bam Bigelow, you saw him like that with the flames in his head and the suit and shit, and said, all right, now we're going to put you in a sweater vest and we're going to put a wig on you so people don't see your tat. Like, why would you do that? Why would you clean up, Bam Bam? Why would you let Bam Bam be Bam Bam? But Vader, Kevin Owens, I get the physical side of the comparison. I do, but beyond that, where does the comparison end? Vader was a killer. Just going in there, an absolute fucking grizzly bear of a wrestler. Kevin Owens, who again, kind of had to deal with the same kind of body shaming vibe that people have. But that's what Kevin Owens did differently. Was Kevin Owens said, "Oh yeah, you think I can't do this, or you think I don't look like a typical wrestler? Watch this. I'll out wrestle your favorite fit guy." And that's what Mason hasn't done. And that's what NXT hasn't allowed him to do is, all right, you might think it's ridiculous they signed me. Look at me. You might judge me based on how I look, but watch this. And we just saw that match with Cam. There was no watch this in that. So I agree. Bad comparables. The comparable stops at look, right? They're just anyone throws out fat wrestlers they can think of. Miles Bourne has to defend both titles at Heatwave. If Jackson Drake wins a match, that is the caveat. I could be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure Jackson Drake is going to get a match. I don't know against who or where. And if he wins that match, then all those title matches happen. I think. KO got a beer belly. He's not Mason Rook. Big, LOL. And some of us, especially Canadians, we have this genetic beer belly. That doesn't matter how many times you go to the gym or how many times how many sit-ups you do, the beer belly's just there. It's a thing. So you see like a guy with KO, super strong legs, lots of agility, a lot of athleticism. But the big old barrel comes on. But KO's thinned out for sure lately, so good on him for that. But yeah, some of us Canadians are hexed with the Canadian belly, the upside down chest, as I was once told. King for the win. No, Damien.
I was way off.
Yeah, way off. Great. It's the birth canal. Oof. KJ got the magic sauce, making bad shows good and good shows better. I appreciate that, sir. That's what we try and do here. Again, it's always interesting solo because you're talking to yourself. And there's things in my head that sound funny, but I have no idea how y'all feel out there. But that being said, big shout out to Big Nick. I'm hoping he never hears me say what I just said because he's too busy doing other things. And big shout out to Anthony. We got nothing but love, as I know Anthony's gone through some things in his personal life. I don't want to, overshare. It's none of anyone's business but his to give. But nothing but love for Big Anthony out there. Big Anthony and Big Nick, the Thursday night crew who kill it every Thursday. And anytime they're on, it's been nothing but a pleasure. So big shout out to both my buddies that make this possible. And we're looking forward to them returning. Lexus King for the win. Lexus for the win. Lexus King. A lot of people were wrong. Damn. Damn. I don't know why we're damning, but there's probably a good reason. Then the chat just...
I was way off.
Who thought Lexus King was going to get a W? It's not a thing on this show. And man, you're not making any sense. Yeah, he's just on one. I don't know. I bought in on Mason Rook ain't shit foundation at ground level. Facts, right? As hello, Miss Parker. Where is it?
Hi, Miss Parker.
In the back with Thea. Now they're working her with Thea because Thea's really good on camera. This is where I said there's a vested interest in Jada. I think they see stuff in her, but they need the rest to kind of fall into place. So you put her on TV with Thea. I know people get irritated with Thea, but Thea is good at Thea knows who she is, knows how to deliver it. So it's kind of a nice little working relationship. And then Natty being Natty is, again, I think it's only beneficial for her to be in the ring and get schooled by somebody like Natty. I want what he's smoking. Yeah, facts, man. That good. As per requested.
Yum, yums.
I feel like one of these two are going to beat up the other one. Good win for Price. Yes. As we go to the back to no M, no ain't. There's little Romy. Oh, so Romeo Moreno will be in the fatal four-way that Ray was calling about. So that's one. Tag team wrestling is the answer, Spaz. Oh, where was the question? MVP cried that the Hurt Business was problematic and then proceeded to do exactly that in AEW. Here's the comparable, Spaz. CM Punk was said to be a cancer, a problem, an issue, da-da-da-da-da-da. He has all those issues in AEW, and people are like, see, we told you. Then he left AEW, went to WWE, and everyone went, oh, it's going to last 6 months. And he proved them all wrong because he knew he was under a microscope. MVP, the Hurt Business, kind of had it set in their ways. I think MVP was a big catalyst for it, of the guy who was, backstage, like, we should be better, bro. We should be bigger than this. They're holding us back. And then, all right, so we'll jump ship. And it's no better. And again, the consistency, the commonality becomes you. So MVP is in a tricky spot. If this doesn't work out, he now has a bad track record of not getting along with people. There is absolute money. The fact that I have to see more John Moxley than Shelton Benjamin. I know Shelton was hurt, but I also think people go there and they know they have a little injury, and then they'll just collect money for a couple years. But the fact that they can't use Bobby or Shelton better is crazy to me. Crazy. Like, that should be a layup. Is anybody acknowledging that? No, they don't talk about that. They all need better creative. Yeah. I mean, I give a long answer to exactly what you said in 2 words. Better creative. I do think there's a lack of creativity. And a lot of times people, especially movies, shows, that kind of thing, the theory becomes, especially with corporate bullshit, of this is what we once did. Or we did this thing and it was good then, so we're just going to redo it now. It'll be good. And it's actually the complete opposite, right? And we've seen it. This generation, we're just remaking all the old cool movies shittier, right? And that becomes the dilemma, is you're running back stuff because it used to work. But every time you run back something, it's not that exciting. However, if you do something unique, something different vibe, then you should catch attention. And I think too many of them are just rolling back the same shit. And I challenge, I know Triple Slow is like, loves milking this shit. So Shiloh Hill will take on Jackson Drake next Tuesday. If Jackson Drake wins, he gets a North American title shot, and the Vanity Project get tag title rematches. Does that make sense? And Lexus King, who just lost, will get a rematch against Lucian for the... So tonight, did they do a speed eliminator? What the fuck? Lucian Price is going to take on King for the speed title. But Cruz, Montana, Grayson Waller, it's time for the main event. Decent amount of time. Somebody in the back there, I don't know who that was. Was that Zilla? Was it Zilla? No, I'm just kidding. All right, folks, you get your votes in. I'm going nobody. I'm going to tell you straight up, spoiler alert, I'm picking nobody. But here comes Tony D, your world champion. I like his entrance. I like his look. I like his vibe. I think he should have stayed more cryptic, more in the shadows. I think him coming out and cutting long babyface promos hasn't worked well for him. So maybe he's heelish with a mouthpiece, but if he just kind of, when he first got back and had the new look, and he doesn't say a lot, I mean, I kind of feel like that might have worked better for him. You guys can let me know what you think. Cruising together. All right, so we are heading into another commercial break. I got a little unreal. I guess I'll take a moment in this time to remind everybody, if you haven't done so and you can hear my voice, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. The share button, we really appreciate that. If you take our link, send it out to where you know people are talking about wrestling, whether it's Facebook or Discord or Blue Sky or Twitter or X, I know, millennial, but wherever, Instagram, share our link. We appreciate it. It's nothing but love. And we got a lot coming up. We really do, as we head towards the All In. We got a marathon triple show coming up at the end of the month where we get AAA, we get Heat Wave, and we get all in on the same day. I mean, September's got some shit going on. All Out coming up, Money in the Bank coming up, a Sunday night main event coming up. We will be here for as much live wrestling as we can. We're flirting with the idea of a couple other shows. We're flirting with the idea of AAA because it's cooking. So stay tuned. Click the little bell. You never know when we're just going to pop up and do some stuff. Plus, you can check out all our old content down below. Check out the merch store. Check out all the links. Check out our old stuff. Check our posts, our shorts, our videos. Check them all. If you don't want to check our shorts, you can eat our shorts. There you go. Old joke. Haha. Got Cruz for the win. Zilla is coming here and he destroys all the competitors. Does that create a fatal four-way, or is there more to unfold after that, Damien? Zilla destroys everybody and gets the title shot. Zilla destroys everybody, and now we got a fatal four-way at Heatwave. I've dampened my excitement for Tony D the second. Yeah, right? A little bit. I got Zilla. I told you this was the summer interns booking this week. Let's go, Nair. This match, I'm hoping the main event's good because the show's been kind of average. It's time for the number one contenders match. Let's go. I think Corbin should get new IC title, not the furry belt that he has. He probably will. If he doesn't, like if he keeps the fluffy title for a couple weeks, I'd be worried that they're planning to give it back to Trick, right? But now he's going to fight Carmelo, so how does that play out? I'd definitely give Corbin a different belt, like a snakeskin belt. If I'm TK, I would say that everyone has creative control and let them take the blame for the bad booking. Instead, it's the opposite. We get mad at the favoritism and the creative control. And we have assholes out there who are emphatically, they don't have creative control. They don't. They told me they don't. I know. If you don't like it, I'll message you rude things. And most of you should know who I'm talking about. But ultimately, the buck stops with TK. So even if you give your wrestlers creative control, there has to be quality checks. I do believe that a lot of the wrestlers are calling their own shots because that's why so many matches are similar, right? Just go out there, do what you guys planned. I don't really know, but hopefully it's good. And it looks similar to this match started with a jump start and out into the crowd and then back in the ring. The next match was a jump start into the crowd, back into the ring. Like there doesn't seem to be that quality check. And I truly do believe whether, again, we played semantics with this. You want to call it creative control or creative input or outright getting to do whatever you want. Call it what you will. Call it whatever the fuck you want to call it. But there are wrestlers in that building that Tony's not saying no to. He might not be controlling their creative, but he's also not preventing their creative. He publicly said he trusts Moxley to just do Moxley, which has been terrible. He trusts Jericho to do Jericho. How many bad gimmicks does Jericho get away with? Imagine that Jericho was working in another company and he had 4 or 5 bad gimmicks in a row. So, yeah, that becomes the issue. As Crow's having a time. No, the tag team wrestling answer was for Spaz's question about what is something wrong. That's facts. I like that answer. That would have been a lot simpler. Tag team wrestling in 2026 sucks. I said it. I meant it. It's been that way for too long. I don't get it. Like in a day and age where fans have a shorter attention span than ever, and the fans are very kind of intrigued by moving parts and excitement and chaos. That's what the fans are really looking forward to. You think tag team wrestling would be a great place for that. But all 3 companies, you're bang on correct, suck at booking tag team wrestling. And I don't want to hear shit about the Bucks and what they're doing, like any of this shit now they're doing, because their tag team division's garbage. Right? I don't know what's worse, the tag team division or the women's division. Right? TNA's had issues, but hot and cold, but not great. maybe slightly better than the other two. And WWE doesn't seem to really. The women's tag team was hot for a while, not as hot as it used to be, but still kind of good. And I think the Bellas were part of that problem. But the men's tag team, like, you don't need two sets of belts. Don't only have one and let them roam. But if it wasn't for the Vikings, I wouldn't care at all about the tag team wrestling on WWE. As we are off and running, Grayson Waller starting off with leg kicks. Oh, what is that? Shimmy, shimmy, ah. Okay. Cruz Montana, as Waller starts off with kicks, and Cruz says, what are we doing? We're going to fight. And now the boys are throwing bombs. 60% going Cruz, 33%. I might have had an influence on that, but nobody. And Waller only getting 8%. The new and improved Waller, not that much faith in him yet. Waller could win. Waller just came down from the WWE. Could win. Terrible decision, probably, being that Mike just got here. Cruz. Cruz could win. Makes sense. But then do you hurt Waller's kind of situation? Waller being the heel could probably rebound pretty okay, but still probably not the best decision. This has got to be. This feels like a nobody. It's got nobody written all over it. Is Damian right? Does Zilla wash out everybody? And then we got to figure that out. Zarya versus Ren. St. Clair official for Heat. For Heat Wave, title for title. Okay, I like that. I'm okay with that. And then dissolve. Yes. You win it and dissolve. Yes. Everybody, hands up. Say aye. The Speed title versus the North American title, and you'll have the belts in one hand, and you just pretend they're one belt. And we never see the Speed title again. Yes. Can I get an amen? Salute your shorts. I'm all for the new matches and everything, but why would they put these two in the ring together to take a loss? Who? Or are we talking about the main event? If you're talking about the main event, because it's a nobody finish. SRS has even come at me after I said Mox doesn't sell on threads. Oh shit, really? That's all it took? Is that not the weirdest thing? And maybe I'll clip this and put it out and y'all can spread it out. Is it weird that a man who tells people he's a reporter or a journalist and he's educated in journalism, and that he legitimately slides into people's DMs and threatens them, messes with people, tries to flex on people, tries to bully grown adults that just laugh at him? It is a really weird approach. When he did it to me, I put him on blast, and he was mad at me because apparently it was a chicken shit move to put him on blast. But I'm not playing cloak and daggers. You want to act one way publicly and act a different way behind closed doors. That's baffling to me. And as far as I'm concerned, the fact that the brand even supports this guy is embarrassing for the brand. It makes me completely disconnect from anything in that fucking world because he is such a vile piece of garbage. Like, I don't quite understand how it's okay that this guy behaves this way. And I've seen dozens and dozens of people talk about it. I've seen threads dedicated to it. It is crazy. Who cares? Like, it would be like Walter Cronkite phoning up your parents if they had disagreed with one of the stories he covered in the news. Oh, I'm just doing my thing, man. Like, I'm just no. That's not how you behave. It's not how you behave. It's toxic. It's weird. It's twisted. It's unsub behavior. Like, someone keep an eye on him. I don't get it. Like, a reporter, like, so insecure that he shows up in random fans' DMs to argue with them and insult them. The fuck is that? You put this guy on your shows with the branding around him? Ugh. I wouldn't even consider it. Even if it was his fucking baby. I don't care. It's crazy behavior as we're in commercial break. And he's one of the perfect examples of toxic wrestling fans that make good wrestling fans and average wrestling fans look like shit. Oh, you made a comment on my article, and I'm like, what the fuck? Who does that? And I mean, I've seen so many people that have gone through the same thing. And not like podcasts, just regular Joes or Jose's. It is baffling. It is sociopathic, weird, insecure, vain behavior from Sean Ross Sapp. I don't get it. It's factual. He can say whatever he wants. There is receipts. Dozens of people can prove that this guy behaves horribly. He is a creep. And the fact that it's okay and he hasn't been called out or put on blast even more than he has, and that he jumps on these streams and acts all hunky-dory and peachy key. What the fuck are we doing? He's a fucking loser and behaves like one. Anyway, transitioning. Here's Montana. Time to cruise to the next championship. Cruising. Yeah, let's go. I'm just going to say this. If WWE has a workout program that is open to the public, I am with a personal trainer. I'm in with a personal trainer. That's awesome. Let's go. Grayson, your music doesn't match your mood. Facts. Nice shout, Nair. And in my head, you sang it like that. I legit got mental health problems when I hear talk about AEW. You just start tweaking. I almost feel like that. I have nightmares. I wake up in my sleep being like, fuck Moxley. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The reason why the women's tag titles are the best thing in tag team wrestling across the board is because we are getting compelling stories that make it feel important. And I can't say that with the same in others. And you actually see them kind of consistently doing something, right? Like you went from one tag team to another, back to the, one of the other ones, won it back. And then they, but it's consistency, right? It's always there. And I think sometimes you got to book some of these matches, make them extremely good. Maybe the crowd's quiet the first time you do it, or not, lukewarm the second time you do it. But as the matches speak for themselves, they should get excited. But right now we've been told that tag team wrestling means nothing. So you bring in teams like MCMG, you put them in the ring and go, oh, look, the fans aren't cheering. Yeah, because they have no faith in your tag team booking. So MCMG walks out the door completely underutilized by the WWE, and we just move on. The official Cake City verdict, Yankees 4-1. Boo. Natty versus Thea. It should be fun. Okay. Again, Thea can go. She's a little spark plug. She can battle. Can we all admit Waller was the worst thing about NXT 2.0? He was not the worst thing. I don't think. There were some bad things. Like, I thought Bar Rescue was worse than Waller. Like Jensen and Briggs and Keontae Jordan. Kiana James. Big clothesline by Cruz. Cruising through the air. But 2.0 was a mess. Everything from just the visual of 2.0 was a mistake. And then everything after it was garbage. How they treated Ciampa wasn't good. There was so much wrong with that show. EK Prosper versus La Parka next week. Winner faces Ray Phoenix. Okay. Nice. Montana on fire. Montana rolling. I never support Fightful. Fuck those guys. Whole company full of sickos. It's about conduct. And a guy that should be flagged, a guy that should be called out consistently. It's disgusting. But I digress. Oh, my bad.
Yum yums.
Little yum for ya. SRS is legit. I can't read. I won't read that. But allegedly, and I have no way of actually knowing, but I've heard that thrown around. There you go. What a lowlife he has to be, Jose. That's crazy, right? Yeah, imagine like any other line of work or a reporter. Like you tweet out like, oh, CNN said this, and one of the fucking anchors phone you or show up in your fucking DMs. Hey, how dare you? How come, what the fuck? Grow up. Be a man. Act like a fucking child. 2 count. I'm lurking. KJ Guardian, what's up? But I got to know if you saw JD from New York's complete crash out last night about Danhausen. I mean, he was so mad screaming that he was literally in tears crying. That's jokes. I had not. The only ever time I see JD is if somebody on X puts a video, like one of his clips out. JD's blocked me out of his world. But I saw his recent one about Danhausen. I almost wanted to do like a rebuttal to it, and maybe I will still. But it's just the overreacting, the over the top. This is the biggest bunch of garbage I've ever seen. Ever really? Bastion Booger didn't qualify. Like ever? Talk about over dramatic. Talk about the perfect example of another toxic wrestling fan that just screams to make a point as, oh, Waller hits the rolling flatliner, which I hate. 2-2-2. Match picking up. I think the tag team business is a problem with egos, money, and trust with wrestlers. Yeah, maybe. I think once upon a time, guys would like go into a territory as a tag team. You would sign somewhere. Like that's why I got excited by NCMG, where a lot of the tag teams we see, especially in WWE, are you and you be friends, and then we'll make you fight later. As Waller is just kicking the back of Mike's head. I don't dislike this match at all, folks. How are we feeling at home? Go back to the gym shorts. Interesting, right? His legs look super skinny in this neon green pant. Big kick, Mike down. Oh, we got a bit of a stomp, but it was, late kick out. That dude is an effing weirdo. You can say everything and it doesn't matter. Then you get told something and it comes a crying fit. Yeah, it's embarrassing. I mean, I get good and heated. Nick gets good and heated. Anthony gets worked up. Maybe not as heated as us, but because he's super nice. But, you know, we have our moments. We have our things that piss us off. And I have no problem with putting a passion into it. But when you're just over the top screaming, like, what the and you're doing it all the time, it's got to be a law of diminishing return. Like, how long can you hear the guy say the same fucking bullshit? And again, did the Danhausen Joe Henry thing suck? Yeah, it sucked. But he's still over as fuck. And he doesn't care, but the people making money do. And the people buying the shit do. And this week it was minimal because they need to back him off. But like getting mad and saying, the fuck, get this, like, this guy's on my TV too much. I respect that. Saying the worst fucking thing you've ever seen in wrestling ever. Jesus Christ, what are we doing? Excuse me, sorry. The worst thing about NXT 2.0 was the NXT. Yeah, fact. Both men down. Mike fighting up. But we got to come to Zilla. It's Zilla. Zilla fought twos in NXT. They said he was coming. Samoan drop. It's over, folks. Is it Caesar Sokoa? We will find out. Flying. Let's go. Zilla's in the building. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Far two. The crowd goes wild. Let's go. I called it. Damien, who's your source? Big splash. Taking everybody out. Booker T saying, I told you. Booker T knows firsthand. Hello. The main event scene just got put on notice. Zilla fought 2. The son of Umaga is in the building. Then he stares down Tony D. Fought 2. Zilla! The killer! Zilla is in the house. The quiet ones are the ones you got to watch out for, KJ. What kind of person doesn't like Austin Powers? Facts. That's in. Don't push him. He's close to the edge. This is crazy. Damien. Fuck yeah. They feel good though, right? Fought 2 feels like an absolute instant and injection of energy into NXT. We're watching guys like Mason Rook and Cam and Tony to an extent, Waller, all trying to find their way. And we're going through this transition period in a big way for NXT. But the end of tonight, and what was a very average show for my money, ends on such a high note as Zilla Vatu comes in looking like a monster. I'm a zillion. Let's go. A zilly. Fatal four-way. Anybody? Yeah, there you go. Fatal four-way. It's the only way it makes sense, right? Number one contenders get taken out. Zilla's going to get put into this. Tony's going to take on all three. Tony won't be champ by the end of it, and I'd be shocked if it wasn't Zilla. NXT just got turned upside down. Let's go. You did, Damien. And I said it before, my guy. I appreciate you because sometimes, like, you're on the money, and then other times you're way off. So, and that happens to all of us. We all have those moments. Like, yeah, you called it. Tonight he was going to come and ruin the main event, and there it is. Zilla fought too. Hey, now. I am instantly an NXT fan again. Zilla is here. Sign me up. He didn't get instantly incorporated into the bloodline. Shit, sign me up. Great decision. Now, does it bother you at all that you know that's where the ship, like all roads lead to Roman? All roads lead to the bloodline, but this is good start. This is better. He doesn't get just dropped right in and have to kind of work backwards to prove himself. He can prove himself here, you know, kind of get in with the fans, get, you know, those who don't know him. Now you're going to notice. But the good thing about NXT fans is you're going to get that Fatu pop, where almost everybody in the building knew right away who that was because smart fans, right? So I like it. And then I got no problem. We were talking earlier about AJ Styles, like paying your dues. If you just give them the bloodline spot, you know, does it work out? Admiral Bob Holly had a finishing move caused the holy cost for one night. I guarantee that was way worse than anything. Yeah, like these, like this preposterous. Like I had to, you know, we've all sat through like segments of Elias. Remember when Elias and Elijah was a thing, and Kevin Owens didn't believe anybody, or you know the fucking the Shocker, or any of these, the Rock, you know, concert segments, or bad promos, or horrible matches. Really, that the worst thing ever in your whole life. When you've had a pretty bubbled life, my little guy. I don't know that, you know, that is the most horrible thing we've ever seen. You know, maybe a whole night dedicated to a guy that just did ungodly things as he checked out. It was pretty fucking horrible. But no, Danhausen and Joe Henry singing a bullshit chat GBT written song, it sucked. But let's not fucking, you know, let's not start jumping off fucking bridges. They're calling him Zilla Fatu. Let's see if he keeps that name. Did commentary call him Zilla Fatu, or did the fans chant Fatu? I didn't hear commentary. I was too busy yelling. What does this mean for Heatwave? Fatal four-way. This felt like when Jacob showed up, facts. I was at like a 6 out of 10, but I need to rethink. I was kind of the same. I'm like 6, 5.5, 6, maybe. I'll go to a 7. I think a clean 7. I thought the show was average. I didn't like Rook and Cam. Lexus King continues to have lackluster matches. He brings 5 friends out to the fucking ring with him and still loses. What a loser. Like, what are we doing? Like, he's got his whole gang here, and he's still taking L's. The fuck? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't nothing like egregiously bad where I was like, what the fuck? But nothing really good where I was like, woohoo. And then Zilla kind of changes the whole dynamic as we go off the air and kind of on a pretty positive note, feeling pretty fucking strong about the future. Like I said, he feels like an absolute injection of life into this show real quick. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. A lot of lack, like, you know, Saquon was okay tonight. Fought Dion again. It was okay. They're setting up another one. That's okay. Yeah, a lot of okay. But the end. See the difference? Raw was an okay show with a shitty ending. It got a bad mark. It got like a 5, 4 from some. Right? But this was about the same, kind of an average show. Better ending, better mark. Next week, number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight title. Facts. That's going to be fun. The crossover, I think, has been really well done, really well, really seamless. Doesn't feel out of place. Doesn't feel shoved down your throat. They're coming up with good reasons to do it. It kind of feels like they've created like this little universe of like, every show, like the managers are like talking trades, and that's a good dynamic that they've created. I think Ray's phoning this manager, talking to this guy, all this, and Pierce have had their issues and traded people. I like it. I think it'd be really cool. Like, hey, we traded fucking, I'm going to make Nick happy here. We traded Austin Theory for La Parca. That kind of shit. I think it's good stuff. How to be a zillionaire. Have a baby by me, baby. That's my Zilla. Let's go. Give Zilla that belt. Give it to him. Don't wait. And I think you are. Like, how do you not? And I think the thing, Zilla, to me, when you watch Zilla, he looks like especially because he did the splash, he did the flying thumb. Like, you see, like, he's like the elevated elements of all the other guys, right? He's fast, he's quick, but he's also big and thick. Pause on all of it. But you got me. As we entered into the zesty part of the review, 6.5 out of 10. Step up or get left behind in NXT. The competition is thick right now. Back to that. Geez. The competition is stiff. Not helping, right? But competition in NXT is good. And there's a lot of talent. And you're going to see guys like Rook get left behind or end up in Evolve. We've seen someone like Nikita have to like battle through Evolve a little bit on NXT. Now she's working with Natty. Even Carmen to an extent, who's also with Natty. But we've seen these battles for spots. The main event scene felt a little boring, a little bland. Evil Tony D, not good. Not strong, didn't lead to anything exciting. We had a blowing up contract that didn't even make sense. Not very good for your main event scene. You just had Oba and Javon and Ricky Saints, and now you have none of them. Waller shows up. That's a little spicy. I kind of like it. But then you still have Cruz come in. Now you're like, oh shit, triple threat, let's go. Zilla instantly, and even if Zilla wins, say Zilla wins at Heat Wave, and you move forward, you can definitely move forward with Zilla Santana for months. All right, Santana wins. Zilla wants to chase him. Waller's still in the mix. How does it all work? How does it all play out? Now we're in a place where there's legitimate, good questions from fans. Oh, shit, will this guy fight this guy? Will it be this? Will it be that? Yeah, it's good. Best show out there. It's had its moments, Paul, but 7 out of 10 tonight. I'm okay with that. We all thought Zilla was showing up. I wasn't really sure. Zilla, to me, is one of those rumors that just been going on for so long. I was like, eh. But I think they kind of pulled it off in a good way, where we all kind of eventually expected it, did not necessarily know it was tonight. And there was a lot of talk of whether he went to NXT or the main roster, correct? So there was that kind of hesitation. Even when Damian said it, I was like, I don't know. But, I mean, enough buzz out there that kind of led off to the payoff. Fatal 4-way next week to determine the new Cruiserweight champion. Number one contender is match for Rey Fenix. There you go. All this shit is going on, going down. 9 out of 10. Babe Zilla is here. Game over, says Malik. Let's go. NXT Zilla, I'm okay with. Facts. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. No cause. For all I know, Zilla will be in NXT for 2 years, and hopefully the bloodline. Facts, right? You're like, but I wouldn't count on it. I think they're only in like the 4th inning, from what Paul said. I don't know, man. I lost track. Give me Zilla versus Mike Santana or Cruz Montana. One of them. I agree. 8 out of 10. Great show. I love that Superman spike. The flying spike is great. And he hit one on, shit, was it Amazing Red? I want to say it was Amazing Red, where he spun him out of the air. No, like I said, Zilla almost feels like the morphing of all of the other bloodline members we get in that way of like, the younger guy's got some trickle down, and he's got this intensity that Jacob has. He's mobile and agile. But again, he's just this combination guy. Again, a needle mover, an absolute needle mover. I wonder how much money Zilla turned down in AEW. Was that even that dude? I mean, I wonder, but was that even really a convo? Did they really think they were going to get Zilla? 7 out of 10, 1 point bump. Dude, we did the same thing tonight. 6 to 7. Yeah, an average show with a great ending. That's how I take tonight. So I'm just trying to. I'm a little bit struggling with some of the new guys and adjusting. And it's not just because they're new. I'm just don't love like Mason Rook. I want to cheer, but you're not giving me any reason to cheer him. That match sucked tonight. Yeah, we'll see. Called. I am medicated tonight, so don't mind me. Yeah, I mean that's perfectly okay. 7 out of 10. Let's go. 7.5. I bet you give Zilla 10 months to go the main roster. Yeah, I give him a little bit, but we'll see. I mean, people are going to chomp at like, when is he going? Where's he going? Like that conversation in 3 weeks, you're going to start seeing the posts of like, is Zilla ready? Is Zilla's time now? Does Zilla even need to be in NXT? Yeah, give him 10 months, man. He's young. There's so much talent. You're causing log jams. Let him dominate NXT for a year. Let him go on an epic run in NXT and then talk about it. Community called him Zilla 6.5. 8 out of 10 tonight. Chat going wild. Stream unhinged. Mason in the cut. Zilla 5-2 popping off. Did your cap button break? Honestly, I'm curious. This show got more heat than you expected. Fair enough. It did little. Miss Parker was on TV, not wrestling though. Facts. 7 out of 10. Bailey, This Is Your Life was the worst segment ever. Right? Again, it's hyperbole and it's overreaction for clicks. It's fake bravado. It's fake. That's why they sit alone and yell. Because they knew if someone else was in the room and yelled back, they'd cower. That's just my take, folks. Call it what you will. Alexis King is Timu Jericho. He's like Jericho's kid. It's like that's what he feels like Chris Jericho Jr. KJ, I love NXT more than most people. I was at a 4 tonight, but like a fun 4, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I could see why. And it wasn't like, again, it wasn't bad. There's yum-yums, there's fun stuff. But, yeah, it wasn't strong. Nick missed Zilla, his debut. What do you think? Nick's reaction was, he'll be pretty pumped. Again, a big name. He's such a big Bloodline fan. He defended, we argued about Roman for like half an hour last night. He's fucking thrilled right now. He'll be pretty pumped about this, especially on NXT, which, has kind of been Nick's baby in a way for a long time. So, yeah, I'm sure he's much happier with this and what's been going on. The men's division is becoming stacked. The men's division is becoming stacked in NXT. Was once desolate. Waller in this gimmick. Santana, Tony D, Evil. The top looking good again. Starting to feel very robust, like a good coffee. Zilla, I forgot to add facts. I hear Spaz. I love NXT. NXT has offered for a long time a lot of consistency. However, again, the transition is unavoidable. You lose a lot of talent all at once. So the void, Zilla to me really kind of sparks that real quick of like, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Nah, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. He'll see a million replays. He'll talk about it next time we see him. I think he's pretty content with where he's at. KJ, do you really think Solo will acknowledge Roman? No. I mean, the story's too simple then. Unless he does, then it gets really interesting because I still kind of felt like Jacob and Solo were being weird, almost working together, almost colluding. Like, I don't know. There felt like a vibe, but nothing has come to prove my theory right at all. Go. KJ is excited. I'm pretty pumped. Zilla got a bigger pop than Big Cass. Jokes. Big Cass came in like a heel. I don't know why people expect him to get a big pop. He came in and beat up a babyface. So fans are like, oh. We got to remember, sometimes when you walk in and you're trying to establish a bad guy, the fans shouldn't be popping. Like, I think we all got the initial, but then he kicked guy in the face and we're like, oh, that's what killed that. So sometimes you don't get a cheer, but you're not looking for one. Let's go. Let's go. This chat is firing, but I'm going to say a few more. 7 out of 10. Lashley's sister out of 10. Oof, nice drop, Spaz. Hashtag robust. Let's go. Well, folks, I am going to get out of here and go enjoy my robust evening. But have a wonderful night. I thank you for joining me. Hopefully, running just me tonight didn't drive you too nuts and you still enjoyed the show. But Dynamite tomorrow, all week long, all your favorite wrestling, big shows coming up, all the links below, all the merch below. Go check out all our stuff. Check out all the socials. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Like, share, and subscribe. And beyond that, for those who've shown up, thank you so much. On behalf of Ringsider Anthony, on behalf of Big Nick, I'm Mr. Every Night. I'm Mr. Every Night. My voice just quit at the very end of the show. I'm Mr. Every Night, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. See you on the flip side. Good night.